In episode 2, we talked about the drawing tools, sliders, and layers. In this episode, we will go about the edit tools in brief. So let's get started with episode 3 of the Procreate course for beginners. So first of all, we have this wrench icon or the actions panel. So this is divided into 6 more panels which are very detailed in itself. In the add section, we have insert a file, insert a photo, take a photo, add text, cut, copy, canvas. So insert a file works just like importing a file from the top menu like talked in the earlier video. If you click on insert a file, it will open up your files app and you can select any PDF or Procreate or PSD file to import it. If you click on insert a photo, it will open up your gallery and you can import a photo from there. Take a photo opens your camera app and you can take a photo directly from within Procreate. Add text works just like it shows. You can add text from here. Next, let's talk about the cut, copy canvas options. If you select cut, it will cut your layer that you had. Next, you can click on paste and it will paste that object again. So if we see on this layer, we just have this, and on previous layers we have these. So let's say you have selected this layer, this square layer, and you go on to cut and then you go on to paste. It will only cut and paste the current layer content. So if you have selected this layer and you click on cut, it will cut the shape, and if you click on paste, so now your shape will be pasted, but it will be pasted as an image in a new layer. Similarly, the copy function works. It just copies and then you can paste it to create a copy of it. When you paste something, you will see that we automatically shift to this fourth tool, which is the move tool. You can move objects from here using this tool. So let's go back to the actions tool. So these are all the options here. Next, we have the canvas tab. From crop and resize, we can crop and resize the value of our canvas. You can click on settings and enter the width and height manually. First is the width and second is the height. Then you can choose the DPI to increase or decrease the DPI. The reset panel will reset everything. We have some features like animation pages, which will need a separate video. These basically help in creating animation and pages so you can quickly browse through the pages. Next, we have the drawing guide. You can click on the drawing guide to open up the drawing guide, and you will see that we have a checkerboard pattern to help you assist in your drawing. You can also edit guide and change it to isometric perspective, for which you have to select 2 vanishing points and symmetry, which will help you draw similar things on each side of the canvas. Next, we have the reference panel. If you click on it, it will open up a canvas reference panel. So if you're drawing something like here zoomed in, you can see the full picture in the reference panel. You can also click on image and import an image from your gallery, or you can use the front option to open up your face cam and it will show the drawing on your face. Next, the flip horizontal just flips the canvas horizontally, and flip vertical flips it vertically. Let's undo that. Next is the canvas information, which will give you the information about the artwork, dimensions, layers, color profile, video settings, and statistics. It's basically text based and you cannot change many things from here aside from the name by clicking on the untitled artwork and adding a signature right here. It will also show you the dimensions and the maximum number of layers available and used. Next, we have the share button. From here you can share an image in the following formats. If you choose the Procreate or PSD file, it will conserve all the layers and you can edit the layers later also when you import it using the insert a file option. Next is the share layers. This option basically shares all the layers you have on, like these 4 layers top are on and the lower ones are off. So all the layers that are on or visible will be shared from the share layers option. Next is the video. From here you can click on the time-lapse replay and watch the video. You can swipe to increase the speed or scrub through the video. From the same panel you can turn off the time-lapse recording and it will ask you to purge video, which means do you want to delete the existing video, and for this video I'll just click on don't purge and you can turn it back again and it will have the previous video also. If you purge it, the old video will be deleted. Next is the export time-lapse video. You can choose full length or 30 seconds. If your video is long enough, you will have a faster version which is 30 seconds. So you can click on any of these and import, and you can then save the video by clicking here. Next we have the preferences. The first one is the light or the dark interface. You can click on that. The second is the right hand interface, which moves the sliders or our slide bar to the right. Next is the brush cursor. When you turn it on, you can see a circular cursor around the tip of the brush. So that will be helpful if you have a textured brush such as this. So you can see the actual shape of the brush while drawing with this. While if you turn it off, you cannot see the tip or the shape of the brush. Next is the dynamic brush scaling. So if you have this option on, your brush will stay the same size as it is on the current zoom level. So let's say you are drawing with this brush and you have it at 45% selected. So you create a line and it is this much thick. So if you zoom in by pinching and zooming, you will see that you create a line and it is still the same size. But if you have the dynamic brush scaling off, you create a line and it is this much thick. You zoom in and create a line, it is this much thick. You zoom in more and you create a line and it is this much thick. While we do not change the size of the brush, the actual size of the brush is changing respective to the canvas. If we zoom out even more, the brush size will increase even more. So if you're doing line art or stuff, you can keep it on. I personally always keep it on. Project canvas is used to project your canvas if you have an external screen connected. We'll cover the pressure and smoothing and gesture controls in a later video. So this is basically the sensitivity setting of your Apple Pencil. So keep it something like this instead of a straight line, which will protect your Apple Pencil in the long run. These are the stabilization motion filtering features which I don't use personally. Stabilization features offers stabilization in the app. So let's say without the feature you can draw something like this, but with the stabilization on or 200%, you will not be able to draw something like that. It will smooth out your lines way much. So I personally keep it off and adjust the stabilization in the brush itself, which we'll talk about in the Brush Studio episode. Next we have the gesture controls, which will be covered in a future video. And next is the rapid undo delay. It is the delay between two consecutive taps of this undo button. If you press it faster than 0.56 seconds, it won't trigger. Last one is the help, where you can basically get help with the software. Next is the adjustments panel. We have some color adjustment, curves, gradient maps here. Some tools like blur tools, Gaussian motion and perspective blur. Some noise tools or effect tools which can add noise, light or glitch effects. Then we have the liquify and the clone tool. These all will be obviously covered in their respective videos. Next is the selection tool. When you click on the selection tool, you can basically, if you select freehand, you can select with your Apple Pencil, and then using it with the next tool, that is the move tool, you can move things around which you have selected. So you see we made a big selection, but it selected only this part of the drawing because only this was on this layer. So it will only select what you have in this particular layer. One thing about it is if you want to select multiple layers, you can swipe right on the layers and it will select multiple layers. Now if you go to the selection tool and make a selection of something like this and go to the move tool, you can move all of this because it is taking stuff from all of the layers. So that is it for this quick video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for the future content. If you have any issues or you want to ask some specific question about Procreate, leave it in the comments and I'll try to answer it and cover it in a future video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.